much, ASP Asiimwe. So straight away, let's get into it. How would you best describe the general crime situation today?
Crime varies from time to time because of the pull and push factors, but also it varies from place to place. The crime that is experienced in Kampala might be quite different from crime that is experienced in upcountry because the push factors seem to differ. For example, right now, people of Greater Masaka, they are into a coffee season. So crime will be influenced by that coffee season. While in the state, it is the contrary. So you won't have theft of coffee in Kampala. It can happen, but on rare cases, because we also have hiring machines in within the central business or the Kampala metropolitan area. But the influencers of crime, the seasons, will influence that there is high crime during this period, or there is no crime in this area, while in other areas they are experiencing a wave of crime. So the factors differ. So when you ask me the situation, maybe I can give you a general. Generally, the country is stable.
Security-wise.
But that does not mean that there aren't isolated incidences, which our security agencies, with police being in the lead, are managing or containing so that it is eliminated. Because our purpose is to reduce and eliminate crime in society.
All right, now talking about the recent months, how would you describe the situation? Have there been more cases reported, or the reported cases have been less? And what factors would you attribute those tendencies?
Yes, from time to time, the number of cases keep on fluctuating. But if you compare the general crime statistics, crime has been declining, because every time and again, I don't know if you have never taken time to visit courts, you will see a beehive of activities. In other words, those who get involved in any form of crime and they are apprehended, that means it will have an impact on crime reduction. So, on the general perspective, because I want to use a case study of my policing area, because I don't know what is happening in other policing areas. As Kawempe, we are striving to have crime reduction. So, we believe, and we are working towards it, that by the end of this year, what we registered, the number of crimes we registered last year, should be, this year's crime rate should be lower than what was registered in the previous year. Because that's how we measure our performance. A policeman's performance is measured by the crime rate statistics in his or her area of operation. So all our efforts, all our targets is scoring in that goal. And that is the target of every policeman in whichever policing area they operate, to ensure that we reduce crime. Because if we don't reduce crime, we are not doing anything. Why? A surge in crime creates anxiety, creates fear, creates panic, stagnates development. Do you know that crime has an impact on development?
Yeah, sure it does.
Yes. Because people will fear to invest. Because, you know, you have no security for your investment.
Yeah.
So, if you see the rate of growth and investment, you know that crime is reducing. Where there is insecurity, the rate of investment is slow. So, even if you don't go at the police to ask that, how is this? Yes, there could be those isolated incidences. And you know, the rate of publicity now is viral. Something happens in Norway. This morning as I was coming, I saw a clip that these bag snatchers have returned on Mkwano Road. But that is an isolated incident of which our territorial police in that area is going to expeditiously handle. So somebody who sees such a video clip will say that, Obubi, well, crime in Kampala is, but that is an isolated incident. It can be a threat. Maybe if you say that, yes, it is in Mkwano, is on Mkwano Road, it is in Nachivubo, it is on any other roads within the state center. But they can be contained.
So if we are to track like the past 7 months,
yes,
can you say that crime rates have really reduced?
Yes. You always, I don't know whether you are always invited for weekly press briefings. Those statistics are always given, and for the whole country. I think for within the central business, okay, Kampala metropolitan area, the most contributors now of our crime are these phone snatching. They are now the most contributors. They are still a problem because they keep on switching
from place to place.
From place to place. But most of them, because I think now in most of our areas within the state, I think now somebody can move on phone, talking without fear or any thought of maybe phone being what. And the wave now we're experiencing is those who target early morning workers and late evening when people are retiring from work. Because jam is at its peak. You know, even people on foot cause jam. So the snatchers now take advantage of that because of the surge in numbers of people who are either entering the state or going out of the state. So
do you plan to have like...
We already have.
They're already there.
They're already there. So, and we are working towards elimination. Not reducing, but elimination. So we hope by the end of this year, the general crime will absolutely be lower than what was registered in the previous year. That's an indicator of our of our performance. Because that shows that we work.
Yeah, sure. So, Afande, of the new cases you're registering, are there unusual cases like those ones which you've not been registering before?
There is no unusual case. You see, when you say an unusual case, it means it has never happened. So no case, all cases have been happening. Only that some are seasonal. Like now we have electro-related cases because it is their season to happen.
Yeah.
In 2027, you will not hear that this one has defaced my posters, because the posters will not be there. They will have either been removed by they will have been washed away either by rain. So some cases come with seasons. Maybe that's what we can call unusual.
Yeah, for
But
this case.
But at least they have ever happened.
It's not like they're new.
Yes.
Okay. So now talking about the area you police, what are those most reported cases? Now, like you've indicated that here phone snatching has been very common. So in Kawempe, your area where you police, what are those most reported cases?
Of course, phone snatching is a general crime, especially here within the city. Why? People take advantage because of these peak hours. Everyone is rushing and people are minding about their own businesses. So the criminals take advantage to compact themselves within that jam, either jam of vehicles or even where. So they always take advantage. But we devised means of handling them. So we also plant plainclothes security operatives.
So they are around.
They are around. But the criminals, they are also suspicious because they know themselves.
They know the regular faces.
It is a rare what? So they keep on shifting from this street to this street. But I can assure you that we are managing.
All right, that's a promise.
That is the assurance I can give the general public that phone snatching, we only have now, we lack some bit of organization within ourselves, within the state.
Okay, Afande, now in relation to today's discussion, to what extent has drug abuse contributed to these crimes in your area?
Well, drug abuse, especially on youth, is a key contributor to youth involvement in crime. It stimulates that sense of how do I call it?
Untouchable.
And it gives them, I think, that either that confidence, especially when it has reached its peak. You know, drug keeps on weakening or affecting a person's immunity over time. So at first, your immunity is a bit stronger and resilient to drugs. But as you keep on, you become a regular consumer. It keeps on infiltrating within your body system. It reaches a point when it controls you. You can no longer control it, but it controls you. That's why high drug addicts if they have not taken or consumed, they are weak. It means that now the drug is part of their system. It is a driver of the body system. So somebody who is now already controlled by drugs, it means that it has impacted on their human senses. If you find that person has loaded, he may not see you as a human being. He can see like a moving, non-living thing.
Okay.
So that means that somehow, somewhere, it influences on the behavior of people. Somebody who has consumed drug, they want to know that it is bad to kill.
All right, Afande, sorry to interrupt. Let's dive into a small commercial break, but when we return, we are still continuing with the discussion, and Afande will shed more light on how these drugs have really impacted on the crime rates we have in the region. Let's return in a bit.
Issues at hand. This is Church of Uganda Family TV. Enriching lives. Regulated by the Uganda Communications Commission. This is Church of Uganda Family TV. Enriching lives. Regulated by the Uganda Communications Commission. Issues at hand.
Welcome back from that commercial break. We are still continuing with the discussion here on issues at hand. And today we are discussing general crime and with emphasis on drug abuse. Before we went for the break, Afande was still shedding more light on how these drugs are impacting or influencing people into committing these crimes. So Afande, are there efforts you as police are trying to put in place to fight these influencing drugs?
Most of the victims of drug abuse have been the youth, and these youth, most of them have been concentrated in ghetto areas They have been concentrated in ghetto areas, and there has been an effort by the government to involve them in the money economy. There has been a robust framework to ensure that there is inclusion of youth in the production. That's why over the time you have been seeing the president giving money to the youth, because most of them are into drug abuse because they are idle. So they got caught up in drug use. One, you know, when somebody takes drug, when we are studying, we usually do that. Why do people smoke? Or why do people take alcohol? That forget problems.
Yeah.
Even when the problem is there, it seems that it is not there, but the problem remains. You have just forgotten about it for a short time. But the problem still remains. So, as police, it is not, what we can do is sensitization. But government has a number of plans to have these victims of drug use to be brought on board and empower them economically. You know, because you have what to do. What you have may not has an impact on your way of life. Because here there is a certain code that you are expected to exhibit. Maybe your appearance, maybe your dress code, maybe your time management. So these youths, because they have been idle, that's how they have been caught up with drugs. But of course, some had reached the level of addiction.
Yeah.
So those ones, you cannot expect a miracle. It is changing. It's a gradual process. So sometimes you have them, they are under, they are working, they are what, but because they had already reached a level of addiction. So to transform them is a gradual process. And we have various stakeholders at ministerial level and other government agencies which are in place to ensure that they tackle that transformative part of it.
All right.
But for us as police, much of our work is on enforcement. You know, that is our cardinal role. Enforcement. If there is a law, how do we put it into practice? So, but once we have a reduction in crime, and some of these drugs, people, even the children start from home, because now we are too busy for our families. So you don't know what these children are doing. Others even take these drugs, they sneak them into schools. We have children in schools who are using these the most expensive drugs. You know, most of the drugs we have is opium and opium marijuana. You know, people call it whichever they call it. Others call it marijuana, others call it opium, depending. But when you read about them, there is some distinction.
Young people call it weed.
weed. That is, it's in raw form. So those who have advanced, they are now consuming or taking in processed weed. Some are taking in cocaine, powdered weed, which saturates in the body very fast. So the fight against drug abuse, it begins at a family level. Others take it lightly, but it keeps on advancing. By the time you notice that your child
can't do without drugs,
is an addict, it will have reached an advanced level because they keep on hiding. But there are certain signs you can know that your child is using drugs. Number one, they keep on isolating themselves. Drug users find it hard to associate with others, especially those who are not in their
group.
A drug user cannot see you face to face, especially if he's a child to parent.
They shy away.
You know, when I'm using child, people think that it's only the boys who use drugs. Even now, these days, ladies now are very dangerous on drug use. It has also affected them. I know you have been following the celebrity lives. You see them how female celebrities now are taken up by drugs. So it is no longer the other notion of only boys. It now cuts across. Because the training, I think, they no longer train boys, they now train general.
But Fande, don't you think it's because these drugs are easily accessible?
They are not even easily accessible. If I sent you that now go and look for cocaine, you may spend a whole day without getting it.
But they have channels.
They have channels. They have passwords. It is like you. If I say that you go and show me who is a thief, it's only the thief who knows his colleagues, because they also have a society. They know each other. They know the password. You cannot say that I want cocaine and you get it. They have terms they use. So even the sellers are always suspicious on who is buying. You cannot go direct and that this is a drug seller. They have agents. Because why? Why do they put in those passwords? For survival. Because if they open up, then security will sweep them.
So do you have initiatives in place
to
track those?
We always have whatever trick criminals develop, we have a countermeasure. That's how we survive. Because if you do not counter, then criminals will overtake you. So we keep on advancing on the tactics and mechanisms we employ to curb crime.
They use codes, you also use codes?
Yes. We infiltrate them. We have agents who enable us to break such gangs of crime.
So are parents or communities engaged enough to report such cases?
They don't know. Even those who know, they fear. You cannot come to the police and you take your child and say that, Afande, my son is a drug user or has been taking drugs. Because you know the implications.
Imprison them.
Yes.
Don't you think there are these people who are at a level of rehab who need to be taken to those rehabilitation
the parents who have the capacity, Rehab is one of the it is costly, by the way. I didn't know until of recent, this year. Some rehabilitation centers are charging up to the tune of 10 million per month to manage a drug user. By the time somebody is taken for rehabilitation, the drug has reached its peak. It reaches those levels. Somebody is like he's mad. They are talking alone. They want to go naked. Some are violent. Others can no longer eat. Others have started becoming weaker. So by the time somebody reaches at that level, chances of restoring that person to normal are reduced. It is like the way we get sick. You keep on feeling some pain, then you take it. By the time you say, let me go for medical checkup, the disease has multiplied. Some body parts are already affected. So even drugs, that's how they operate in our bodies. So parents fear because they know the law is hard on drug use. So the few who come up, there are those who have experienced forms of violence. A boy has reached at the level of wanting to involve in sexual acts with maybe the siblings. That's when they say, but
it's too much.
There is a problem. How could this young man think of sleeping with the sister? It means drug has reached its level. You can no longer see this person as your sister. Somebody is talking, but you see wants to grab. I said, this boy, they are aggressive. This boy who is talking to me like this, there is a problem. Now that's when you said that, but there is a problem. He has not been talking like this. They become wild. So by the time you notice those extreme signs, it means the impact is already high.
So, Fandi, what will be your message to the parents out there?
Well, the message, let's have time. And, we always say that, that one is like that. That one is like that, is killing the youth. Children nowadays, most children have phones.
Yeah.
They keep on, they know the market because they are searching. They know the latest brand of drugs. So they have networks. So have you ever taken time to see in the phone of your child? Have you ever taken time to conduct a search in your child's bedroom? Do you know what happens there? Have you ever taken time to know the company of your child? Most parents now, because of the nature of our work we do, we have become laissez-faire. Everyone does their what? As long as the child has come, greeted you, have you done homework? Maybe what is the report? Maybe have you done this? That's enough. We don't bother.
Communication is on the surface.
We don't bother to take initiatives, to associate, to know. Somebody who smokes, just you can see the eyes and the lips, even the fingernails. just by observation. Although sometimes the eyes tend to deceive. Some of us have red eyes. So you can see the eyes say that man smokes. But it is to the contrary.
So Afande, you mentioned that now they have these gadgets, smartphones.
Yes.
So have these cases of cyberbullying and stuff. Don't you think drug abuse has also contributed to that? Because I can imagine if someone is out there and they use their drugs and then they get high, so they would be on the internet just committing any sort of crime.
Yes. In most cases, the bullies, we haven't yet found out that somebody was involved in the computer misuse or the computer or cyber harassment as influenced by drugs. But here on the general crimes, in the open, it is a contributor. Somebody to endure the night has used drugs. Even you see, I don't know, have you ever traveled at night?
Yeah.
You see a driver is or no, this mirror. Though in Uganda they say that it is not a drug, that it is a drug. And
This one, they
that one.
Okay.
But others mix it that it keeps you awake.
Okay.
So people use opium, people use marijuana, cocaine, heroin. Others have reached an advance. You know, heroin is for it acts in the blood system. Somebody injects those injectables. I know you have seen such movies. You see somebody is injected with a what? With a drug. So let's take an initiative and find out. The most victims, the homeless children. Because they are homeless, they have no belonging, and they are introduced to the vice by the big boys in town. Because in those dwelling houses, you end up being recruited because you have no way out. It is what is there. So some of them do not that they wanted, but because of the environment. So sometimes the environment has an impact on the lifestyle of an individual, be young or old. I know family TV environment somehow, somewhere is influencing you. There are things you never used to do, but you are doing them because of the environment.
Yeah.
Or there are things that you used to do, but you are no longer doing them. So environment has a very big impact on shaping the character and lifestyle of an individual. So wherever you are, create a conducive environment. Don't create a toxic environment. If your environment is toxic, then you will intoxicate others.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Afande, for that overview. Are there ways the community can reach you? Do you have toll-free lines? Because we can be out there and we see these crimes being committed. We see people like trading drugs. How can we reach the police?
Yes. Every policing unit has those respective phones. We created reception phones or counter phones that you can directly communicate with your respective police. This does not only apply on maybe drugs, like you have said. But any reporting in crime. But we also have toll-free lines for police. Even the 99 is working. You call 99. Though people say that they always want to speak directly to individuals. You know, people tend to speak to person than to the system. A system, everyone can receive you. But somebody says, me, I want to talk to Muteera. So people always go in for personal phone numbers. But we have respective for every desk. And trafficking, there is a toll-free line. Drugs, we have free. Family, we have toll-free line. So we always have, I think, when the next time I come here, I will have those lines per the department or the unit that handles this. That if you have an emergency in terms of fire, you call this toll-free line. You have an emergency on the road, you have this toll-free line. So I will organize that. I will have it, I think. With time, you are out to put our... you can keep on sharing.
Thank you so much, Afande. So I think in a minute, could you kindly say your parting shots to the viewers?
I want to call upon the general public, especially our viewers, that fighting crime can not only be done by security agencies. It requires a concerted effort. The general public has a lot to contribute, because even some crimes happen in societies and are not reported, and we may not know. So once you identify any crime in your society, please report to the nearest authority. You know, we have authority right from LC1, that chairman of your place, that defense secretary of your place, that is your nearest authority. We have even made policing to reach to the last person, at least in every sub-county. We have now a policing unit. So please report whatever incident you see in your society, because if you don't report, it might reoccur or multiply. So let's all be partners in fighting crime.
Thank you so much, ASP Muteera Asiimwe, the Community Liaison Officer for Kawempe. And this morning we've been discussing general crime with emphasis on drug abuse. Thank you so much for watching Issues at Hand here on Church of Uganda Family TV. From me and the team, it's a blessed month, and keep watching Family TV.
Issues at Hand